December rate cut and a Bitcoin strategic reserve on Trump's day one sets the perfect storm for an epic Santa rally. Bitcoin, crypto, morning tea, hey. Good morning, everybody. My name's Pianomattyb. That is Scaramucci's. This is your morning tea. A brief glimpse into the crypto markets, where the sun's shining, where the wind's blowing. All the humble opinion of this piano Zamboni. Bring it. The data. The FOMO index has jumped up to 83 from yesterday's 80. Bitcoin dominance 56.3%. 24-hour volumes 165 billion. The overall market cap 3.68. Give or take 100 million. Well, the true sign of a bull market is the price pumping on the weekends, and that's exactly what she did. But we talked about this, so it should have come as no surprise to anyone in this boutique community when Bitcoin price action, well, she had a little pump. To continue up to our next headwindian level of resistance at 102.9, and if she's feeling randy, maybe we can even rub up against this channel of ascension support, now acting as resistance at 104K. But Pianomattyb, aren't we carving out a cute little bull flag? And yes, we are, and thanks for asking. And this cute little bull flag has a price probability of way up at 105-ish. Sweet. Lord love a duck. She didn't do just that. After spending Friday and Saturday in a slow grind moving up, the Sunday night shuffle began and price action exploded, pigging out at 106.5, grabbing the all-time high belt, and has pitted out back down to a time of production 104.6, now erring on the side of safety and caution. Some possible fib retracements would be first down at the 23.6% fib at 104K, followed by the 32.8% fib down at 103.5. And if she's so darn tootin', she could give back most of the gains. The Siggity 1.8% fib down at 102.6, which is also in the loving arms, the 20 moving average, but with so much bullish fervor on the horizon, any dip would be fast and furious, getting bought up toot sweet by lip-smacking Fomosian bulls. Now over on the ding-dong, you can see yesterday's candle got closed and stifled by our channel of Ascension's resistance, although we did manage to throw a drunken 30-year-old crying birthday girl wick up and over momentarily. Is that a dad alert? Yes, it is. Looks like the MACD is about to cross back bullish again. A signal we haven't seen since way back on November 6th, where we proceeded to clock in and carve out a 41% gain before crossing back over. And where would a 41% gain from here take us, fractaliciously speaking? Well, that would be way up at 148 K-ish shishkables. Would you look at that, my friend? The sun's up. It's another beautiful day here on planet Earth. A day none of us are guaranteed. We're not guaranteed these days. Yeah, we're lucky enough to have them anyway. So get out there and knock them dead. And remember, we're playing the same game as our psychopathic elected leads. That's right, it's the long game. So zoom out and have a fantastic day. And we'll be going live right away, so grab yourself a coffee, join me for a quick one, and by all means, sing it with me now. Around the banks of boom to spank, Bitcoin, crypto, morning tea. Hey, cha-cha-cha-ching. $148K seems high, doesn't it? Well, I would argue that some people might consider that a bearish outlook, 148K. While, you have people that are, they don't want to overshoot. They don't want to have people come back. You said this, 148K to me, I don't know if disappointed is the right word. I definitely wouldn't be disappointed, but I would feel like the bull run didn't, max out, so to speak, with all the bullish fundamentia rocking and rolling right now. The crazy thing about bull runs is that it's a perfect storm of bullish fervor. I mean, you couldn't get more bullish fundamentia ever. You have this. So the strategic Bitcoin stockpile has now been changed. Now words have meaning back to strategic Bitcoin reserve. Now those are big deals. Oh, wait a second. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear backup kid. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, backup kid. Oh, that's G. Happy birthday, backup kid. The backup kid. Now what I see Jimmy say here. Matty B. Did Matty B mint his Billy Goat Tales Season 1 NFT book? If not, lie to me, please. I did not. I saw a link in there. Is this a time sensitive thing, Jimmy? Or could one of the fantastic mods, there it is, Billy Goat Tales NFT mint your NFT book? Well, looks like I may have something to do after this live stream besides my 10-minute workout and a pound of ground beef and 5 hard-boiled egg yolks. Well, maybe I'll do it after that. It's open for the rest of the week, Jimmy says. Okay, gotcha. Well, I'll have a look at that. I don't think I've ever minted anything in my whole goddamn life, Jimmy. So it'll be the first mintage that this Bitcoiner will have ever done. So another learning experience for old Matty B. You never stop learning in the Bitcoin sphere. But yeah, the bullish fervor is incredible. And of course, Michael Saylor just announces he bought another quinzillion Bitcoin to add to his stash. And the price goes down. Almost every Sunday, you get the Michael Saylor bat signal that he bought something. And then, of course, we have a little bit of a dip the next day.
Jimmy, I think you are in it, pianomattyb. Don't you want to leave this digital history for Duke? No guilt implied. Duke always says that. He always says, quit guilt trip, or what are the guilt lighting. I think it's a combination of gaslighting and guilt tripping. Guilt lighting, he says. Oh, yes. So Michael Saylor buys and the price goes down. Just like clockwork. Ain't that the truth, eh? Despite a massive all-time new high yesterday, I remember watching that. We had the pianomattyb Christmas family pseudo get-together yesterday. And I was just looking, everyone's talking. I'm looking at the phone like, when is this going to pump? I'm pretty sure it's going to pump today. And it wasn't. It was sitting around there at that 103, 102 level. And then boom, she started pumping. I'm like, holy shit, this is going to hit 110 tonight. I get overly bullish. If all I need is you give me a bullish inch, I'll take a bullish mile. For sure. 110. Then she petered out at 106.5, but we can't. It's so amazing how, it's never enough for us sick, degenerate hodlers, as it can hit an all-time high. And we're like, I need higher. 106.5, it's unbelievable. I needed to go higher, though. It's just never really enough. And then one day, and that day was, within a year, within 365 days, the day will come where it doesn't go up anymore for a while. It just doesn't go up. Who's texting me incessantly at this hour in the morning? Don't they know I'm doing a live stream? What is the 150K chord? It's a good question. Because at 150K, you have to ask yourself a very important question. Is this the top? And then for every chord that asks a question, there has to be some dissonance involved. So I would say that if we would take A major, there's no question in that chord, right? A major, just straight meat and potatoes major chord. Now, if you were to ask a question, you'd have to diminish and augment a bunch of the key structures of that chord, and it would probably sound something like this. Now, if any chord ever asked the question, it's this one. I don't even know what it's called. But it does ask a question. Is this the top? And then, of course, when it goes to 151, you can resolve your question and say, yes, no, it wasn't. And then the serpent eats its tail. The universe goes back to balance. That's the interesting thing about all songs that you love, is that it has resolution in it that satisfies your subconscious. This is what's happening when you like a song. It's asking questions to your mind mathematically, and then it resolves. And that resolution is what gives you the satisfaction and increases the serotonin and dopamine, and you like that song. So certain songs that don't have a resolution, you can still like, but they just won't give you the same amount of serotonin. That's why we tend to gravitate towards certain types of songs, like sad songs, so to speak, when you're feeling sad. You're not necessarily wanting to feel better. You want to indulge in the sadness and the morose nature of your mood. And so you look subconsciously for songs that don't resolve as much, and then you enjoy it. And that's when you're looking for, getting pumped up. I want to feel good. I want what's a real good song. It doesn't really matter what the song is as long as it resolves. So, and more songs with more resolution give you more happiness. For instance, I always bring up this chord progression because it is the most popular chord progression. So what it does, it has a question and resolution in its, I guess, 8 beats. Here's the question. A minor. Every time a chord switches to minor, it's the question of the math. This is still part of the question because it still needs to resolve. It's begging to be resolved. Back to C. And the reason why all songs with those chord progression, that chord progression, is so popular is because it has the resolution every 8 beats. Your mind is going, and that's what happens. Then the opposite of that is the minor. This is that chord progression inverted. And now it's begging to go back to the question. There's the resolution. And then it goes back to the question. And it's the predictive nature of these patterns, right? So your mind wants a couple things when it loves a song. It wants a predictive nature, so it doesn't have to necessarily wonder where it's going. It wants to feel like it knows where it's going. And when chords resolve, that's a satisfaction. The predictive nature of it, just like a TV show, like why humans love murder mysteries so much. You know, that it seems like for as long as I've lived, there's been like 80% murder mysteries on cable and TV shows. Because humans love the predictive nature of that show. They know they're going to be presented a mystery. They're going to wonder what happened. And then, of course, it's the amusement park owner when is unmasked and the resolution of it. Why am I on this tangent, Jimmy? What led me on this tangent? Anyway, so we already hit Lord Love a Duck, 38.2% fib. We threw a drunken 30-year-old birthday girl dance crier down to 103.5, a little past 103.3 already. So let's see what this retracement's been from Wick. I mean, we don't care about the top of the Wick. That's just exuberance and people getting a little bit too excited. So that's 3% from our all-time high. 3%. These kind of days, 3%'s enough to turn the sentiment right back to bearish. Did we hit all-time highs yesterday? 106? Yes. Above some people's bull run prediction? Yes. But today it's 104, and I just think the bull run's over now. If it's turned down by 3%, I just don't believe it in anymore. Over on the daily, look at this arbitrary channel of ascension we put in a long time ago. And of course, price action is following it tete-a-tete through a drunken crying birthday girl dancer up there. Couldn't sustain it. So let's extend this out here. What we want to see is basically a candle close above. Now, we've only done it back here. And then once we did do a candle close above this channel of ascension, we can establish a new level of support, which we did. And it's held up. We kind of minced words here for, what is that, Thursday, November 21st to 11th. So that's 20 days. Let's call it 3 weeks of mincing words in a chop suey blender doing absolutely nothing. And then we broke out. That's what happened. So what I'd like to see is, maybe that which once wicked will be candlesticked, and we'll get back up to this 106, and 106 to 110 will be our new consolidating chop suey. But here's the thing. I think with the Santa rally coming, and I'd be very shocked if the Santa rally didn't come, I don't think there's going to be much consolidation until... That doesn't sound right, does it? Until January. And of course, January historically is somewhat bearish, so it's almost like September. January is the New Year's first premonition of September. People are coming back. You gotta understand all these psychopathic elites. They're in the Hamptons for Christmas. They're in the Swiss Alps doing their luge lessons with their kids. So they don't really get back. I mean, us normies, we back Jan 1st. So you got get back at work at Jan 2nd. These people, they don't really exist on that. So it takes them a couple weeks to get back to work, which means speculating on stocks and money. And that's what they will do. So it'll take a couple of weeks. And with that couple of weeks comes less volume. So the price can be pushed down harder by these psycho short sellers. Now, I was thinking about the character of a short seller and like musically wise, right? Well, like what personality is the short seller? And I would liken the short seller to the lead guitar player of a band, because it has an ego, not as big as the singer, obviously, but that because he's not the singer, the ego gets more crushed every night, and it turns them into higher risk individuals. The lead guitarist will be slightly more of a degenerate than the singer, because there's a certain amount of bravado it must provide to the band in order to eclipse the natural alpha male of the singer, if that makes any sense. And then once that band breaks up and the lead guitar player goes back to normal life, they generally become like an emergency worker, ambulance driver, maybe even if they're super ambitious, a emergency room doctor, but they're not that ambitious. That's why they were musicians. So they probably wouldn't do the 10 years of work for that. But then now they're promiscuous, probably. They're on that risk curve, short sellers. You wouldn't want to, if you were a girl, you would, if it was a male short seller and you were a girl, you'd probably be attracted to the bad boyness of him. He's reckless. He dyes his hair black, maybe wears a guy liner every now and then, but it's okay. And you're attracted to that, but his reckless behavior is what will inevitably ruin the relationship, and you'll be talking about that short seller for the rest of your life and what a mistake it was to date him. Free and Fighting. Am I the only one that hit the likes button? Let's see. Nope. 70 have hit the likes button. That's about half. It's not a bad ratio for this channel. Terry Crow. Christian Bale played a psycho short seller in a movie not so long ago. His character was definitely on the spectrum. Yeah, what a lot of people don't realize about those epic short sellers, what was his name? Michael Burry, right? Is that being an epic short seller, like these scalping short sellers, they'll probably go broke, but it doesn't matter because they're in it to fly as close to the sun as possible. Now, are there epic short seller people that do well? Sure, but they're few and far between. The Michael Burrys, you've only heard about his epic short sell, but he was in that for 2 years, right? And then you have to factor in another thing. It's not his money, right? It was his firm's money. I guess Scion, was it? I'm not sure. But like I said before, not trading with your own money, it's a different psychological game, right? You can take higher risks, one might argue, if it's not your money, because when it is your money, you're a little more closer to, you got skin in the game, right? If you lose it, you lose all your money. Now, if you're trading with someone else's money, the consequences are equally as harsh, but your life isn't over, so to speak, if you know what I mean. Like, let's say Michael Burry, he couldn't sit in that trade for another 6 months. He decided to, and then he got liquidated and everyone lost their money. Well, I bet you he'd be okay. I mean, his reputation would be ruined, and he probably wouldn't, he'd probably disappear from the financial game, but he'd walk away with probably millions of dollars. And knowing him, he probably has a bunch of hedges on each of his shorts just in case. But it didn't kind of pan out in that movie. I like that movie. That was one of my favorite movies, probably one of the last movies I've ever seen when I come to think of it. So, yeah, Squeaky McGee. I'm a fierce trader using someone else's money. Yeah, the bravery, the courage it takes to see. Now, this is an unpopular opinion too, but a lot of traders you see out there, like on YouTube, they're also trading with other people's money, and sometimes it's yours actually. So these affiliate links for traders, that every time someone uses an affiliate link for like an exchange to change, that affiliate link gets money. So there a lot of times they are just playing with other people's money, and sometimes it's the community's money, so to speak. And then their trading gets a little wild. The successful traders I knew all blew out their public account, so to speak. Like they all took on it's the evolution. You have some solid years, and then people start asking you, can you trade money for me? You say no for a long time. Then eventually they're like, well, just sure. And that's when things change, because they're now psychologically not as connected to the money. They go farther out on the risk curve because now the ego's involved, right? When you're trading with your own money, the ego is kept at a minimum. In fact, you're in ego protection mode. You're trying to prove to your id or super ego or whatever that you deserve to be here as a trader or full-time trader. I don't know many full-time traders anymore because they usually bust out. I mean, you won't hear about it. You'll just never hear from them again. But they usually bust out because what happens is that the same trade you've made, let's say you were just a complete psycho disciplined trader, and you did the same setup. You waited for you waited for a bull flag and a bull market, and then as far as that's concerned, it had to be on support, and it had to have a certain amount of volume, and the MACD had to be somewhere, right? You just boom, you had all those things, and that's all you traded, and you did that for 2 years. Well, guess what? You're gonna get bored eventually, even though it's probably the best trade you ever make. It only happens, every 3 weeks, or depending on how many charts you're watching, maybe it happens more. But the more charts you watch, the less familiar you are with their personality, so to speak. Because when you trade or watch a chart for a long time, you really get to know the personality swings, so to speak. Like, us that sit here and watch the Bitcoin chart, we kind of get a feel for it. You're almost like grooving with it. And when things outside of massive crashes, right, which who knows why that happens? Everyone has their own reason, but nobody knows really what's going on. At the end of the day, my take on all crashes is that exchanges are trying to make money, right? It's hard to believe, but exchanges aren't there to make you money or me money. They don't want us to make money. They want to take our money. So they make it as juicy as possible for it. Hey, buddy. What? Pardon me? Okay. Gotcha. I actually got caught up here in an old rant. It's 8:29. Holy smokes, it's late. I'm sorry for taking that. My plan this morning was to cut it short. So I was like, let's try a 15-minute stream. Maybe that's I win all the time. Fired up. Where's that from, Duke? I win all the time. Fired up.
I forgot his BitBoy.
That's right. Okay, what are you going to play? What are you going to play today? What are you going to play, buddy? Let's send this one out to the Wix. How about astrology for men? Oh, gee, I'm getting too big here to sit on your old man's side.
Let's do some doodles, aka astrology for men. Let's do some doodles, aka astrology for men. Men, suck up and handle pattern. I saw head and shoulders in the sky. looking at the spinning top candle. Some people call it a doji.
Doji?
Whatever that be, let's do some doodles, aka astrology for men.
Oh, those cookie little lines. Nice job, bud. Oh, sorry, man. You know what? I had one last thing to show you guys, because as much as bullish as this is, I did notice something. When I was doing the data alert. What was the data alert? Oh yeah, so we are crossing here. This is a negation. I'm not even sure if that's a word, negation, but we have the MACD crossing bullish, which is bullish. It is bullish. However, it is working against some bearish divergences. We have higher highs and lower highs coming in here. I'll just draw this in so we know what we're talking about here. Where's my line drawer? Chases. You think I'd... Oh, okay, we'll use this one. We'll use this one as a... that's our MACD. And then we will show this trend line coming down from here. There we go. Ideally, I'd like to maybe change that to a red to indicate bearish divergence. So yeah, that is the classic reversal bearish divergence. And you know why I wasn't going to talk about it? Because I don't want to put anything bearish out into the ethos, because we are in a bull run. We are entering into the Santa rally, but there is these signals, and these signals have probabilities. Now the probabilities get diminished with the fundamentia. And some of the fundamentia, I think we might be seeing it right now. We're having what some legacy analysts call a little bit of a pump and recovery. It's 104.5. Yeah, it was a nice little green candle there. What we'd ideally like to see before 11 o'clock a.m., my time, CMT, is to close the candle at 104.9. Then we would have a bullish engulfing candle on the 4-hour chart. She's a noisy little so-and-so, so nobody really cares. Why does this say 105? But, oh, and my little ticker seems to have stopped. Has it stopped? Let's see here. Come on. There we go. It did stop. See, you can't rely on this Apple stuff. And can you guys help me out here? I upgraded my goddamn iPhone to 18.2, much to my own chagrin. I never do this. I'll wait years before I guess I had nothing to do. And sure enough, my phone sucks now. Like, I can't make a call because the earpiece doesn't work. I have to do hands-free, or else I can't hear the person. And when I go to my notes, it won't open up. I don't know. Is it just my stupid phone, or is anyone finding the new update a little bit lackluster? Anyway, that's a side note. If you did, put it in the comment section so I don't feel like an old guy who doesn't know what the hell he's doing with his phone, because I'm starting to feel like that, if you know what I mean. Make sure you like and subscribe and share